G'day YouTube. Recently I've been asked how I've grafted my oranges and citrus in general, and I'll show you the method today. It's been quite difficult just being able to show you how to graft, just because I'll need both hands to show you, but I've been pruning today and I thought, hey, this is a good opportunity to show you how to graft it. So all you have to do is just select the right sort of wood and the right sort of branch. And the important thing is that you select new growth, and it still has to be quite green and supple. It has to be hard and it can't be soft at all. So the growing tip here, that's no good to us. What you need is something down here, and if I can just zoom in, not sure if you can see, but you've got nice fat buds down there, and that's the sort that you need. Now I've selected a very good piece here, and that's just come off that. All you have to do is cut a tapering edge off that on both sides and then put it on. Now the important part is the L shape. So it's an L-shaped graft, so what you do is you cut down the length over here, 1 and then 2, and it forms an upside down L. And what you do is you then hold it like that and you peel it back, and as you can see you've got a nice pocket there. So if I just lift this up carefully over there, you can see that pocket that you form with that L. So all you do is you lift that over and then you slip in your sign wood, and as you can see there you've got a nice tapering edge. And if you don't mind, I'll just put this knife down, but I'll take it out just to show you what a tapering edge is. You see that? It's razor thin, and as you can see it's not really curved, it's a nice straight shape, and even if it does curve it doesn't really matter, because this isn't like an apple or a pear where it's hardwood. This is actually still soft and it's still living. So even if there's a slight curve to that edge, it doesn't really matter, because the bark on this is very pliable. So the minute you tie it down tightly, what happens is it wraps around all those tiny curves, so it doesn't really matter about the fit so much. But I'll show you over here. So once you've got that L shape, you just slip it in like that, and as you can see, it fits in very easily. The L shape ideally has to be longer than an inch, and you should have 1 or 2 buds showing at the top. 3's pushing it, but I have been able to graft with 3 buds, but they take longer to establish. 2 is the best. So always remember, leave 1 and 2 at the top, and the part that's cut there has to be longer than an inch. If it's not longer than an inch, it's going to take forever to take, so it's going to be just wasting your time. So if you can do an inch or longer on this, and it doesn't really actually matter, this is probably not ideal because you've got 3 buds onto that short piece of the bit that goes under here. So the best way to do it is so that the bit that is actually binding to the cambium on the parent plant, on the actual rootstock, the best way to do it is so that you have 2/3 below the bark and only 1/3 at the top. And as you can see, if I cut that top bud here clean off, let me just do that. So this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm not going to be using this. I wouldn't be so rough with signwood usually. As you can see, that forms almost 1/3 up here and 2/3 below, and that's more ideal. But didn't realise using one hand is going to be so difficult. As you can see, once I slip it in, most of that white part is going to be under there, and then what I do is I push it in deeply in there, and then what you do is you bind it tightly, and as you can see you've got a very good bind. The tighter you do it, the more contact you have with the bark. And as you can see, the bark's extremely pliable, so you'll be able to graft very easily, just like that. Sorry for the one-handed video. It's probably extremely shaky and half of you are probably vomiting by now. But I think that's the only way I've been able to show you how I graft. And the binding's pretty simple. All you do is start from the bottom and bind it tightly, and I mean extremely tightly, to the point where you feel like you're strangling the plant. And leave it on for 2 weeks and you'll find that you've got a perfect bind. And I do recommend doing this in the warmer seasons, spring and summer, just because citrus are actively growing then. I'm just gonna, I'll show you some of my lemons as well. I'll be right back. Show you what I mean by too many lemons. I've just got ropes of these, and the plant's so tall that it just produces long stems, and they flower right at the top, but the minute they get a little bit heavy they bend down for you, and I think that's how nature intended things to be done. It just gets heavy and all the fruit just comes straight down. So yeah, this is what I mean by ropes and ropes of lemons. Just far too many to be used.